So it seems like the bag is dried up for Blac Chyna, as recently she has decided to ask for child support from Tyga for their 10-year-old son King. Let's go to Lovelyti for the video.
Blac Chyna is demanding child support from Tyga for their 10-year-old son, King Cairo. She's claiming that he gives her no financial help. Tyga took to social media and he basically said the following. He says, 10 years later, nah, stick to your schedule, Saturday through Monday. In a filing, China asked the court to order joint custody of their child to be split between the two famous parents. She also included details of the current living situation and says this should be done in the best interests of the child. As far as support, the documents state the court may make orders for support of the children and issues an earning assessment without further notice to either party. But we are guessing that China was specific about the amount of support that she sought in this case or what kind of support she sought. Unfortunately, those details have not been made public, so it's unclear of what she's asking from Tyga. So right now, we don't know the amount that she's asking for, but she is asking for money.
So unfortunately, a lot of us saw this coming, and Blac Chyna is attempting to pull the hustle that many women tend to try to pull when money is tight or when they come across some, a man with some change in his pocket. It's like y'all have had a great parenting situation for 10 years with the child, 3 days with you, 4 days with Tyga. He gets to spend a lot of time with his father, which we all know is very much needed, and it's worked thus far. And not to mention, over the years, Blac Chyna has been bragging about her being a single mother, and that's her biggest flex. And she had to get rid of three, four of her cars to take care of the kids, and because she's a mom and all of this, giving off that boss chick facade, fake facade that some women do. I'm gonna say some, but the whole time it was false. It was no single mother. Like, yeah, you single, you are a mother, but don't try to be giving off that facade like you didn't have no help. The whole time the kids were majority of the time with their fathers, and I believe the other child that she had with Rob Kardashian had the same setup with like 4 days and three. I don't know for sure, but I know both of the children were primarily with their father. In the case of Tyga, child King was with his father for 4 days and with Blac Chyna for three, and it's been working thus far. So why is it now being the time that this hustle is being pulled that many women tend to try to do? And listen, it's a hustle on both ends. Like, it's a lot of fathers that are not as affluent, a lot of regular fathers out here who be ducking and dodging their kids, trying to get away from paying what they're supposed to pay, trying to stay under the radar and stay off the under the table as far as their money. And it's terrible, man, because you ducking your responsibility is what as far as what you brought into this world, your child, and then you also ducking the time that you need to spend with your child, and that's unacceptable, man. I'm not trying to get down on just the mothers and play this game like fathers are so scot free. Fathers be on some bull too, and y'all that's listening, you know it, man. Like, go spend some time with your child, spend some time and spend some money. Children are not free, bro. Come off that money and do what you got to do to hold down your kids if that's your child. But one thing I'm gonna tell you, you better make sure it's yours. Get them DNA tests in line. We're gonna do a video about, I think this is Tennessee that is starting to move towards changing the law. I believe they have put a law in place that is starting to make it move towards it being mandatory for DNA tests to be taken at birth, which is very much needed because the child support system is set up so wrong, to be so wrong towards men. And that's where we're getting back to Blac Chyna, because it's like, I'm holding men accountable too. It's way too many women that use this system to hustle. They Find a dude that's with some money, with a couple dollars, stable. You know what I'm saying? And even the dudes that are not as affluent as I was just talking about, it's a lot of good dudes running around with a lot of good jobs and a lot of stable, and they got 401ks and you know, solid medical and all of that. And women be right on it. They'll play any, mini, mighty, mo and pick the guy with the best job, knowing that it's not his baby, and the courts don't cause no responsibility for it. And then they're allowed to play this child support game for the rest of the life. Like, I've seen dudes that it's not their baby, but they did 5 years being locked up for child support, not their baby. And then the mother in court had the nerve to say, the judge asked her, do you possibly know who the father is? She said, yeah, I talk to him all the time. And there's no repercussions for it, you know. So when you see mothers like Blac Chyna trying to pull this hustle right in front of our faces, when it's been known, you know, nobody was tripping when she was out in the street, want to run around, you know, and listen, I'm happy that she has started trying to get her life together. She's taken out a lot of the plastic surgery. She stopped doing OnlyFans. But you got to think, these things that she's been doing has been drying, you know, it's not been leaning towards her making more money. As far as when she said, I don't think she was making as much as she claimed to be making on OnlyFans, but whatever she was making is clearly not there anymore. And then you have to wonder if the religious thing was a ploy. I, for one, really wanted to believe that she was trying to move in the right direction, and that someone with a name like hers and influence on these young girls like hers, I thought that was a great move for her to get away from all of that bull, all the OnlyFans bull that they are feeding our young girls out here. So I thought it was good that she was finding God and stepping away from that. But you would see her and her mother bickering back and forth, and you see where it comes from with her mother. But her mother was calling it out as well, saying that she a fraud and this, that, and the other. And I'm not going to judge nobody's walk with God, but I'm just going to say that, you know, you have to start looking at these things at some point and being like, what was this genuine? Because we all know that a lot of preachers and godly people out here be hustling. I did a video not too long ago of some preacher somewhere, I think it was Nigerian. He got this woman so-called in there praying for her, touching on her, touching and agreeing, as they say. But he was doing a little too much touching, a lot too much touching, slapping her booty and all type of stuff. And it's like, man, it's more snakes, pimps, and scammers in the pool pit than ever. It's hard to find the genuine men and women of God, because there's so many scammers. And you have to wonder if Blac Chyna was pulling the scam to try to move in that direction, to try to, you know, monetize the Lord in her favor, you know. And it's not saying that she shouldn't be able to get money in whatever avenue that she goes in, but all I'm saying is God know your heart, and don't use God as a plaything or as a boost just to get your chips right. You know what I'm saying? And so if that was a fake facade, then I don't agree with that neither. Like, she did a whole video of her walking to the cross, and some college then gave her a honorary doctorate, Dr. Angela White. It's like, man, I don't know about all that, man. It's like you hope her walk with God is genuine, but it's like she do the Easter photo shoot with the pictures and the cross, and she still have to make sure she gets some booty shot pics in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, good booty pictures. Like, I mean, like, is it about God or a good picture of your cheeks? Like, what we talk about? It seems scammy, much like this child support thing seems at this point, because this just tends to look like me that is not for the best interest of the child. It tends to look like it's the best interest of you. And a lot of you scamming mothers know what we're talking about. There's no way that a child needs $40,000 a month to be okay. And I get that they live a different type of lifestyle than most of us in, celebrity world or this, that, and other. But there's no way that men should be having to pay those type of prices to make sure their child is okay. It's a hustle that is worked too well, set up against men. The way the child support and custody and all that stuff is set up, it's not set up for the family to be together. It's set up for women to get assistance from the government and the government to collect on that assistance with interest, whether you're the father or you're not the father. But in cases where you are the father, it shouldn't be that the system allows these women to pillage your pockets to support the mother's luxury lifestyle instead of taking care of the child's needs, especially when you got a good father that's providing and trying to be in that child's life. This is your boy P. Cam. Let me know what you think or what you don't think. Get at your boy.